Welcome to MBC News. I'm Duza Dragonash.
And I'm Rekka Weitz. Linden Labs have announced a 10,000 Linden Prize to be awarded to an innovative in-world project that improves the way people work, learn, and communicate in their real lives. The award, it is said by Linden Labs, is to align with LL's company mission to connect all people to an online world that advances the human condition.
That would be us, Second Life.
Mm-hmm. And all residents are invited to apply, and a panel of judges will choose the finalists and the winner based on criteria that you will find on the Linden Prize site, along with eligibility criteria and the application form. Applications close on January 15th, 2009, and the winner will be announced on the 30th of April, 2009. There is a forum with Everett Linden.
In Saqqara, Egypt, Egyptian archaeologists have found a new pyramid. Zahi Hawass, Egypt's antiquities chief, said that this probably houses the remains of Queen Sesheshet, mother of King Teti, as she was the only queen missing from the list of tombs of queens. The pyramid is thought to be the most complete subsidiary pyramid ever found.
Indonesia have launched a new high-tech system to detect potential tsunami and provide faster alerts in the Pacific Ring of Fire. However, it is felt by experts that the country's disaster backup still has far to go, with many parts of the country not covered. The new system will transmit information via satellite to an early warning station in Indonesia and will be fully operational by 2010.
Fremantle, media producer of Idol's television format, and Neighbours have a deal to produce programmes exclusively for YouTube and to split the revenues with them. The deal follows a period of creative experimentation, Neighbours, and it is hoped by Patrick Walker, YouTube's Director of Video Partnerships, that this will cement Fremantle Media's relationship with YouTube. Now, no one is making an estimate of how much this might be worth, but the American Idol website made $13 million last year. And now for a word from our sponsors. Beautiful home. Welcoming fire. Passionate heart. Houses by Dolphin Design speak for themselves.
Welcome to ACE. Located in the B&T Holdings Sim of Venture Square, this uniquely constructed, transparent building represents the high standards, ethics, and accountability of the Encaviston Capital Exchange. Fully SLEC compliant, ACE is a real-to-life stock exchange, providing investor asset protection with the security and stability that you deserve. Functioning as an exchange and adhering to Linden Lab policy, ACE never pays interest on deposits. Our investors conduct business by trading stocks and earning dividends. We operate on 100% reserves and have no withdrawal limits. Top-notch ATMs and emerald graphical displays are also available for our customers. At ACE, we trust you to decide how to invest your money, so put your trust in us.
Already feeling the repercussions of recession, China has announced that it would spend as much as $586 billion over the next 2 years to construct new railways, subways, and airports, and to rebuild communities devastated by earthquakes. The State Council said in a statement, over the past 2 months, the global financial crisis has been intensifying daily. In expanding investment, we must be fast and heavy-handed. The move was hailed as positive by the G20 finance ministers and central bankers who met in Sao Paulo, Brazil last week as a preempt to a larger, more intense meeting to be held in Washington this week.
Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who is hosting the G20 group in 2008, blamed the United States and other developed countries for the recession, No country is safe from the financial crisis, Mr. De Silva said. They are all being infected by problems that originated in the advanced countries.
The group of 20 are calling for increased regulation, common accounting standards, the restoration of credit for emerging and developing countries, and the enhancement of an early warning system, surveillance, and policy advice. Mr. De Silva said, "This is not the time for strict nationalism, for individual solutions. We all recognize that despite a lot of talk over the last 6 to 12 months about decoupling, that our countries are very interdependent, both in terms of capital markets. But this crisis is different. This time, the major developing countries will play a greater role in shaping, as Mr. De Silva put it, a new global financial architecture."
So, no decoupling for me. In their 4th annual Worldwide Infrastructure Security Report released this week, Arbor Networks found that malicious attacks were rising sharply and that individual attacks were growing more powerful and sophisticated. The report is based on how 70 lead security engineers responded to 90 questions. As in previous years, there were reported attacks where their networks were overloaded with packets, what's called a distributed denial of service, DDoS attack. Sounds a bit familiar. However, this year the DDoS attacks have broken the 40 gigabyte barrier. So nearly double the volume of last year's attacks. Most carriers do not have time to deal with the attacks as their income depends on traffic.
President Bush has made liberal use of his executive authority throughout his presidency and is apparently rushing through legislation before he disappears into history, leaving Barack Obama to do the same in the first few months of office in a clearing up effort. There's a lot that the president can do using his executive authority without waiting for congressional action, and I think we'll see the president do that, top transition leader John D. Podesta said. He feels like he has a real mandate for change. We need to get off the course that the Bush administration has set. Mr. Obama's new chief of staff, Representative Rahm Emanuel, Democrat of Illinois, told the CBS News program Face the Nation, "Rule 1, never allow a crisis to go to waste. There are opportunities to do big things."
Or undo big things, presumably. And talking of war, attention. Foul Whispering's Strange Matters appeared in Second Life in October to teach and entertain, though you would be forgiven for thinking something else with that name. Billed by its makers on their site as the story of a serial killer, the site concentrates on Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Fiend Ludwig reviews the installation in Second Life Herald. A visit to Foul Whispering's Strange Matters unlocks creaking gates through which to venture and excites the cauldron of imagination. And Wagner O asks, will students gain more understanding of the play if they experience Macbeth Island, as opposed to just reading the text and watching a performance?
MBC went to see for ourselves. Foul Whispering Strange Matters was designed by Anya Ishel and created by members of the New Media Consortium, funded in part by the Arts Council of the Australian government. Around 8,000 visitors a week are being immersed in the look, feel, sound, and text of Macbeth. And that's a good thing. For some, this will be both entertaining and educational. However, if you had a teacher in high school who had the entire class read Macbeth and then based a whole semester of grade on your knowledge of the work, you may find the experience rather ho-hum. Still, it is well drawn and worth your time.
Well, I'm not so sure, Rekha. I mean, it's all about context. It's not the story of a serial killer. It is the story of an old soldier and a civil war. Well, that's just my opinion, of course.
And now for a public service announcement.
Visit the Lawfield Institute for Language Classes and Conversation at the Lawfield Cafe, where all nationalities mix and learn Japanese, German, a host of other languages, with student union, classrooms, library and gardens. All are welcome. And that's all for this week from me, Dooza Dragon Nash.
And from me, Rekha waits for MBC News.
Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble.